We were talking about the first time that I ever drank alcohol and how I got really sick.
Yeah.
I mean, lesson learned.
Yeah.
Lessons from youth.
Yeah. Well, how old?
I was actually pretty old. Okay. I was really good, straight-laced kid, honestly. I was out of high school, I think. Like pretty, and of course, I was kind of ahead of my time. I went to college. I was 17.
Look at this guy.
I remember I did get to college and I had this roommate, and the very first thing, and I was like kind of like real anti-drinking. I was like really, strict, disciplined kid for real. And he walks in the very first day, 2 great big handles like Captain Morgan spiced rum. And I had like this real big problem with it. I was like, you can't have that in here. I really did. He had to be like, what dork have I gotten paired up with in college? Poor guy. I'm sorry if you ever see this. I shouldn't have judged.
No, that's fine. Did you guys end up becoming buddies?
It didn't stay in touch, but we were friends, yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
We lived together for 2 years.
Wow. Jeff, we should probably welcome our guest into the studio here. Maybe he has a story as well from bad youth decisions here.
Ryan Hill.
Ryan Hill, welcome in, man.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Ryan, where are you from? What do you do?
Yep, I'm the executive director for our Toledo office.
Awesome. So you're up there in sunny Toledo. Right there, we like to call that Ohio's northern coast is what we call that. The beaches of Ohio. It's commonly known. A lot of people refer to it as that. No one? Okay. Well,
they do have nice lakes.
Yeah.
I know.
The beach by
Putin Bay is the
Putin
most
Bay.
popular place,
See?
right?
Yeah.
Huge destination.
You didn't think I knew anything about that, did you?
I know you like Ohio. You just have to act on the show like you don't. Big Ohio guy. Well, Ryan, welcome in. Welcome into Barbersville. Thanks for coming down and being on the podcast today. Executive Director at the Toledo office. Right, just to get us started, any bad alcohol decisions as a youth?
Not at liberty to say.
Smart.
Yeah, not at liberty.
Don't ask that.
I didn't ask it on purpose.
Oh, let me start the timer.
It was in your 12 questions here.
What are the worst decisions you've ever made?
Ryan, who do you work with up there at Toledo?
I work with Michael Bell.
Yeah.
Paula Earthhausen. Sorry,
Yeah,
Paula. I'm still working on that last name, but and then Laura Suter. She's our regional trainer.
Nice, cool. So you guys are up in the Toledo office. You came to Village Caregiving when? How long have you been here?
I have been here. Well, it's going on 3 years in August. I think it will be in August, July, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So
Been a little while.
it's been a while. A
You
lot of changes.
Yeah, you came in as the director of operations for the Toledo office with Austin.
Yep.
And if I remember right, Austin was in transition between Toledo and Columbus, right? He was still in Columbus.
Yep.
The Toledo office kind of became an offshoot of that. And then you were in Toledo really at times by yourself for a period of time there, right? There was some.
Yeah, a lot. My first, I think it was about almost a year before Austin full-time moved back to Toledo. I was kind of running the show in a sense, which I think kind of prepared me for taking over executive director of the office. So, Austin was always available if I needed him, but, Toledo was just getting going. Columbus was at the time probably the biggest office that we had.
Yep.
So he was, extremely busy there. So there was a lot of decisions I just had to make on my own. I didn't have Austin all the time next to me. So it kind of just prepared me for taking over the Toledo office.
Yeah, cool. So are you from Toledo?
Yep, born and raised, never left.
Really? What high school did you go to?
Central Catholic.
And what was their mascot?
Irish.
The Irish.
Mud hens, baby.
Mud hens, yep.
What's that?
Oh, minor league baseball thing.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was like a nickname for the Irish.
The world famous Toledo
How
Mud
do you
Hens.
not know that, Mr. Ohio? They got a beautiful ballpark right downtown. Really fun, cool place.
When we were there, remember Austin said you guys got to come back. We have the most elite. It was that, and then don't you guys have like a minor league hockey team?
Yeah,
of
the
some
Toledo
sort?
Walleye.
Yeah, that's what he was trying to get.
And
us to.
that's, if you like sport, you don't even have to like hockey.
I need a walleye hat.
Yeah, they sell out
That's
every
cool.
game almost.
Austin did give me this Knicks sweatshirt. We're big Knicks guys now.
Austin gave you that?
Yeah.
That's funny. Austin hasn't sent me anything. Austin. Hey, did you know that Austin moved? He got a different house.
He did tell me that, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't tell me that. I was
He
on a
did.
meeting and with him, and I'm like, "Is your background different?" And he's like, "Yeah, I actually bought a house." So I surveyed the group. That seemed like something. That's a big deal, right?
You were
Probably
hurt?
Tell friends about it. Well, I was the only one on
Hey,
the call.
I got another secret. He's getting married on May 3rd. Did you know that?
I did know that. Not because I got an invitation, just, it's fine.
Ryan, the first time first off, what was your interview process like at Village Caregiving? That 3 years, lots happened in that time.
I think it's a lot different than what it was when I came. Really, it was just me giving Austin a call, him talking to me about the job. We just kind of chatted. We set up an interview. It was Aaron, Andrew, and Austin on it, and that was it.
Andrew Moss?
Andrew Moss.
I didn't know that he ever participated in the interview process.
I knew when you said that. I was like, I remember your interview. I remember it really well.
Well, that's not true. Andrew and Matt and I used to interview people all the time, but I didn't know that it was that recent, I guess.
Yeah, so that was it. And that was just one interview, and thought I bombed it, honestly, but about an hour later after the interview, Austin called me with an offer, so.
Well, you were probably authentic and yourself, and we always think that we could have done something better, but sometimes just being yourself is good enough. I remember the first time that I met you, I think, wasn't it in the Columbus office, and you had driven down, and we were kind of in that little room off to the right?
Yep, I remember that.
Same experience for me. We had a great conversation. I didn't just meet somebody for the first time ever, but I bet we sat there, and there were a lot of other people milling around, talking, doing stuff, but close to 20, 30 minutes probably.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, what a great guy. Like, just very, very genuine, good heart, smart, just nice dude. So, you didn't bomb it.
Yeah.
I'm sure Austin and Andrew and Aaron, well, Aaron probably lobbied against you to be
I
my
knew
guest.
right away. I said, this is a lot of those guys was like, this isn't the guy. I said, no, this is the guy. Yeah, Austin, well, he just Austin doesn't always get it right.
He wasn't sold.
I was just like, Austin, come on.
I'll get him for you. Don't worry. You want me to arm wrestle him?
Have you ever tried to arm wrestle Austin?
No, I
Don't.
I've seen the video.
Dang
so.
near killed my friend here.
Let me ask you this. Do you know what a solar plexus is?
A solar plexus?
Well, you won't have one left.
Yeah.
Talk about... Let's see, I've got a list of questions here.
Yeah.
What's the hardest, most challenging part of your job at Village Caregiving?
Yeah, it's kind of a two-parter. One, kind of jokingly but seriously, is anytime taking the phone home on a weeknight or a weekend, trying to answer the phone when you have two little kids running around and you're playing run away from the kids trying to talk to a caregiver or a client and trying to figure out that. But probably the most challenging thing, that I see is really just it's dealing with that difficult phone call to a client that that actually depends on our caregiver being there. And you gotta give them that bad news, and you just hear their disappointment in their voice, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I think it's always challenging because you never want to have that client feel that way, because we're providing a service to give them a break, get that extra help, and when we don't get to accomplish that, some things are out of our control. We can only do so much, but at least we know we tried our best to get someone there. But just hearing that disappointment, it's always challenging to hear. It sucks, but it is part of it, unfortunately.
I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes of the magic here. So, you have these situations where you said you're at home, phone rings, client may not happy about something or whatever, and you got these two kids running around. You're trying oh my God, I'm so sorry, and kids are kids, and I can't tell you the times that I'd be trying to hide in a bathroom, go outside, lock yourself in the car, and not that long ago I had this conversation with a family member that was just things that went great, and they were a little upset, and there was a communication challenge, and it was after hours, and I'm in my zone. I'm cleaning it up. I'm really offering the full support of Village Caregiving to all this. And my 12-year-old son is outside the car drawing pictures on my window. Because he's like, I've been out there for an hour. He's like ready for his dad to be home. And I'm like shooing him away. And they were pretty funny drawings, but I'm just like, everyone has family. You know what I mean? Like everyone's been there. Everyone has challenges in life where you're like, the dog's barking and the kids are carrying on. But I think, a lot of people will apologize if I'm talking to staff after hours. They're like, I'm so sorry, whatever. The kid's acting crazy. The dog's barking. And I'm just like welcoming it because, it's life, right? That's
He was on the phone for an hour. I didn't even realize that person had hung up 40 minutes ago. I'm kidding. I love you.
This guy.
I'm just looking up some fun questions for later. That's all. What's something that you are working on right now to continue, something you're trying to change about yourself in order to continue to grow and develop?
Yeah, procrastination. That's a big one. Yeah, I mean, that's in every part of my life, unfortunately, that I'm trying to eliminate. And it's not so much everything, it's a lot of the little tasks. I think, whether it's at home or at work, those one little tasks that you can just take care of and you don't have to worry about it anymore. Mm-hmm. I don't have a problem with doing the big tasks because it's like, okay, let's just dive into them. But those little tasks are just like, we can put that off for a week. Like getting shift coverages that isn't for another week or two, you don't have to worry about those because you got a whole week to worry about it. But really, you don't know what next week's going to bring. Yeah. You could have 14 more shifts to cover, and now you have 15 because you decided not to take care of that one shift.
Whether or not you procrastinate really is an interesting thing. We were talking not long ago, 3-4 months ago, I guess maybe, but the other side of that, normally when I ask that question, if it's about procrastination, is, there's no way I could. It would just bother me. It's so much more stressful to not do it right now. I never had that problem. I'm like you. Yeah. I'm fine with it. You've put it off to the last minute.
Yeah.
It only takes a minute to do. But you know how I got over that? I don't procrastinate much anymore. You know what happened? Cognitive decline.
Oh, boy.
I actually now know that if I don't do it pretty quick, I'm going to forget forever to do it.
Go ahead and knock it out
so
now.
just don't worry about it. It'll work itself out when it's time.
Do you think that this is a human issue and not like a all living thing issue? Like, do you think beavers are like, I'll get that tree tomorrow? Or like the bird is like, I'll build that nest probably by Monday?
Do animals procrastinate? That is great. That's fishbowl right there, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean,
now you're living in my world. I think they do.
You think they do?
Uh-huh.
Heck yeah.
I think that animals are a lot more intelligent than we understand. I'm not even so sure that Earth isn't. Trees, soil, and anything else. We're all made of the same stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that they do. Well, you mentioned a beaver building a dam, right? Yeah. Like otters, they have like, I'm pretty sure I'm right about this, like a monogamous partner, and they get on their backs and hold hands and swim around together and stuff. This is true.
Yeah.
Now, if he wants to do that in this moment, but he also knows he's got some wood to cut or something.
Some wood to work, yeah.
Huh. How could that animal not also be like, well, I'll do it after this?
Yeah.
And that is procrastination.
Well, that's fascinating.
How about that?
Yeah. What's your thoughts on this?
Not that deep, like Jeff just went into. But
thank God. What a healthy answer from Ryan Hill, ladies and gentlemen.
But my answer would be, they're probably animals that do procrastinate, but I wouldn't put any more thought to it.
Okay. Well, we won't dive any deeper into that then.
I was reading the other day about how elephants now they have names for each other. They've figured it out. Elephants communicate, and they actually have a name. They have names. Yeah. Based on the sound that they make, it's just intended for
just him.
Bill, the elephant down there, here. And he responds to it, and fascinating stuff, guys.
These animals.
Ryan, what do you do in your free time outside of work?
Yeah, nowadays it's basically with the kids, but they're 3 and 1, so pretty busy with that. But outside of that, try to golf as much as possible. We have a travel trailer, so we try to camp every so often. Not as much as we'd like to, but
where do you do that?
There's all kinds of state parks we go to. Last year we went twice, took the kids camping. It was kind of their first experience camping.
They like it?
Loved it.
Yeah, that's good.
And so it's kind of about it. Just anything outdoors. Our kids love to be outdoors, playing with the kids in the neighborhood. So we're outside all the time, whether it's 30 degrees or 80 degrees. So
Yeah.
that's kind of our everyday. It's just
How long, when you go set up the camper, how long does that trip need to take for it to be worth it? One night, too much work for that.
I
right?
agree with that.
2 nights? Now you're there Friday, Saturday night?
2 nights is like the perfect amount.
Okay.
At least I would do another night. My wife, she's not quite there yet for 3 nights or 4 nights, but
I see.
I think 3 nights is the number.
3 nights, I would agree with you. If you can't make it a 3-nighter, it's too much work.
3 nights is the number. Because you got to think about it. You can't check in until 3, 4 o'clock.
Exactly.
So you're
Takes 2 hours set up once you get there.
Day one's kind of gone already.
Yeah.
Then you have all day that next day, and then you got to leave by 10, 11 o'clock.
That's right. It's a lot of work for basically a day and a half. So if you got to stretch that out, get 3 nights in, and then you get enough firewood, it's a whole thing.
Okay.
Jeff, would you be willing to commit that you and I get an RV and we just spend the summer traveling to offices?
That'd be fun. I'd love that.
Can you imagine
Yeah.
the adventures?
You're the one that wouldn't do this. What are you talking
What
about?
are you talking about?
You don't even like to stay in the same like.
I knew this was going to come up.
Bro, you're a tougher travel companion than I am because I don't care about anything.
Okay. For the viewers, all right, there is a difference between being in a travel trailer that has multiple beds in it, that's designed for like everyone just get in there and camp, and going to a hotel and sharing a room. That is a very different experience.
It's a different experience. I don't know how
Yeah.
it's very different.
Yeah.
What happens in the hotel room? I dump water on your head in the middle of the night?
Well,
No,
I hope not.
All right.
That's a tough one.
Right?
That's a tough one.
Well, at any rate, we should go do it, I guess.
Now you have to.
Yeah. You wait till you're going to hear a honk one day outside your office and look out, and I'm going to be out there in a 40-foot camper.
That would be awesome.
Let's go.
I would like to do that maybe just for a whole, summer, like month or two. Just drive around aimlessly, really not even that much to do. Just
explore.
Wander and meet strangers and learn stuff from them, and just that's very appealing to me. But some people would think that's awful.
No, it's a goal. It's my retirement gig. Once I finish up at Dollywood driving the tram. What is are you a Cedar Point or Kings Island guy?
I kind of neither. Not a big roller coaster fan.
You're right there in Toledo, and you don't have.
I mean, I've been to Cedar Point, a ton of times.
Yeah.
But I never cared for roller coasters. Doesn't do it for me.
Huh? Isn't that something?
You like roller coasters?
Oh, love them.
Really?
Yeah, big roller coaster guy.
The bigger, the better.
I
You're
don't-
not afraid of them or anything like
I
that?
will say, I'm not afraid of them. But as I've gotten older, they are less enjoyable like they physically hurt more now. Like when we were at Disney, we got on Rock and Roller Coaster, and that was like my favorite ride as a child. We went there my 7th grade year, and I just like highlighted my childhood. I rode that with Pearson there, and I physically hurt the rest of the day. Like it just beats you to death.
What park is that?
That's at Hollywood Studios. It's next to Tower of
Rock
Terror.
and Roller
Yeah, it's the
Coaster.
Aerosmith ride, where you're inside and it screams Aerosmith the entire time.
They had that when you were in the 7th grade?
Yeah, that was 2000. They were doing because Epcot had the 2000 rode on the ball when I was there.
You were in the 7th grade in 2000?
Yeah, I graduated.
How much
Is that right?
older
Well,
than
it
you
would've
am
been
I?
No, it'd been 99, right? Because I graduated in 04, and they had the ball decorated for the millennium.
All right.
Yeah, you know what I mean, right? He's just over here like. Do you have fun questions, you said?
I have a couple. Gosh, you know what we haven't talked about? Just real quickly. my son Cameron. Have you met Cameron?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But he turns 21. He already has, and he proposed to his girlfriend.
We didn't talk about that.
We did
Jeez.
not. Congratulations to Cameron, his girlfriend.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah. His fiance Brooke. But you know what that means next is I'm going to be a grandparent. Wow. Can you guys even imagine something like this?
What do you think you'll go as?
I don't
Poppy?
even have the maturity to be a parent, hardly. A grandparent.
Pap? Pops?
I'm not even really joking right now. It's crazy to think, isn't it?
Grandpa Jeff?
The only thing that's in line with it is that my hair started to change color. Other than that, makes no sense.
What do you think you will be called?
I don't know.
Let's think about it. You're going to be such a cool grandpa, though. Don't let that get in your head.
Well, you're
okay?
damn right about that. Let's see. Before I get into silly, fun questions, I haven't asked this one in a minute. What is one thing that you suspect other people might not understand about your profession or the role that you have in the company? Sort of like a myth about being a manager, a director.
That's a good question. I've never thought about that. I guess in deep, yeah. Any myth? I don't know. I never
What's
really
the hardest part of it that people might think is they take it for granted? How about that? Could I frame it that way?
Taking it for granted?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they think it's easy, and you're like, no, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, managing people is never going to be easy. You're dealing with so many different personalities.
Mm-hmm.
But truthfully, the one thing is, if you're just nice to people, they're going to be nice back to you, and it makes it a lot easier. You know, no matter what, if a caregiver calls off, a client's yelling at you on the phone, whatever, if you're just nice to them, you know, there's nothing you can do, throwing your arms up, getting all frustrated with them. Just be nice to them, fix the problem afterwards, and move on.
Yeah.
I don't know if that completely answers your question, but...
Well, it's a simple answer, but I tell you what, it kind of reminds me of a lot of the stuff that I say. A lot of times people will say, like, what were the keys to success of Village Caregiving's start in 2013? Like, how did you do? I'm like, I don't know. Nothing. We just were nice and normal and worked hard.
Yeah, I mean...
there's no big magic secret.
It's just like you said earlier. It's just being authentic. It's being yourself. You guys do a really good job at finding good people to do this job. You find people who are authentic, who are just themselves and are smart, use common sense, like you guys always preach. And I think if you just do that, it just becomes so natural. You don't even really, I guess, I'm thinking about this question more and more. Like, I don't know. I'm just myself every day, I guess.
Well, good answer. Aaron? We got lots of time.
Yeah. I was trying to think. We ran into a fellow that you knew one night after dinner, and he had ran a... No, this is a real question. This is a real... remember we ran into this guy. He ran like a machine shop, or he ran...
Yeah.
And he had been in his career a long time. I'm not telling this guy's story, but he had done it for a long time. And we were talking to him, and he said, the machines always work. It's the people that can sometimes be the challenging thing, right? Like, it's interesting in the people business. In his case, you talk to a guy that runs a machine shop, you think, it's the problems you're going to have are with the machines, right? And he's like, no, those are fine. The machines don't have hard days. They don't have good days or bad days. They don't have unexpected life. They just have machines. It's the human side that I do think that is the case when we talk with people about what we do in this industry. I think sometimes they take for granted the challenges of what it is to have folks that don't, they're not with you every day, right? These people are out in the community, and caregivers are out doing an awesome thing, but they're not there to get that reassurance. They're not there to be told everything's okay. And so you got to find creative ways to encourage them, to support them, to be there when things are good, be there when things are bad. That's a very, I think, underappreciated part of the role that you do.
Yeah, and after thinking on that and just hearing you just talk a little bit more, and I think probably the one challenge we're finding in our office right now is making sure our caregivers are feeling appreciated.
Yeah.
That's been the toughest part, because it's really hard. We don't see our caregivers hardly ever when they stop in the office. I mean, we have caregivers that I've seen once because they work an hour away. They can't come to the office very often. That's probably the biggest challenge I'm seeing is trying to make them feel included still, and that they're not just a number. That's the challenge I think that we're facing.
So how do you do that? You have limited time. I mean, you can't all day long, I don't suppose, just call people up. Well,
No.
What do you do to make them feel appreciated?
One thing, a big credit to Paula. She kind of started this where if a client calls about a caregiver or texts us or emails us, whatever, raving about a caregiver, whoever that is, Paula has a stack of thank you cards.
Oh, wow.
She'll mail those out every so often to the caregiver, write a little nice note on there, and kind of just making them kind of feel appreciated. Like look, you're doing a good job. We don't get to always thank them that often. So if we ever get an opportunity, if we ever get a phone call, we're always trying to, get on the phone with that caregiver, even if it's a text, at least letting them know, hey, Susie down the street said, you're doing a great job. She's so thankful for you. So we try to always make sure that we're reaching out to that caregiver right away. And then another thing is just reaching out to a caregiver that maybe we haven't talked to in a while. Give them a call, check in. We probably don't do that enough. Like you said, days are busy, but if we have that downtime, that's the time we want to try to pick up that phone, call a caregiver we haven't talked to in a while, even if it's just a text, see how they're doing.
Well said. Okay. Now, these are tough questions. You both get to answer these.
I'm ready.
Would you rather have the power to never feel physical pain or never feel emotional pain?
Emotional. Because I think physical pain, you can power through it. Emotional pain, you could really shut down. I feel like physical pain, you could really, it's just mind over matter. You can kind of, if you're in pain, you can still do things. Emotional pain, depression.
Sometimes good to feel physical pain, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You lay your hand on the stove. That's how you know to move it. What about you, Aaron?
Yeah, I'm gonna give up emotional pain as well for 200, Jack.
Okay, but then if you don't ever have any emotional pain, how do you ever appreciate when anything's good?
Well,
Looks like you're both wrong.
yeah.
Actually, you said the same answer. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to say that. Would you rather have the ability to communicate with extraterrestrial beings or explore the deepest depths of the ocean? I mean, hello. How's that's not even hard.
Yeah, no, I'm not going in the ocean.
No, why? Why? To talk to an octopus? You're clearly talking to the
Did you see what
alien.
happened to that Titanic submarine?
Thank you. Yeah, don't put me in that thing.
Would you rather have a rewind button or a pause button in your life?
Pause.
I'm playing it out here.
I love how serious we can get about the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
Like, this could happen, so give me a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with rewind. Well, of course, the question is going to be: are you allowed to edit anything in the rewind? And
I'm going to say yes, you can.
okay. And our memory is really a rewind button, right? I mean, memory's a playback of an event that occurred.
You know, actually, the other day, somebody was on a TV show saying that a memory is only the last time that you remembered that thing. You're not actually remembering the event. Every time you think about it again, your memory is just the last time you remembered the memory of the event. Yeah.
As I've gotten older, I've realized how unreliable my memory is of events. 10 years ago, I would have told you that what I remember is 1,000% what happened. Time has proven that is not the case.
There's only one person I've ever met that remembers everything perfectly in the past. That's my wife.
Oh, Sarah, There's.
Would you rather Never have to sleep again or never have to eat again. Oh, that's easy too. Who's making these? Come on.
You know what? I'm actually out on food.
Yeah, I like sleeping.
What?
Yeah.
Sleep is a total waste of time. Think if you didn't have to do that anymore. Just always energy. You didn't need to reset. But how are you going to eat a roast beef, mayo, and onion sandwich now? That's up there.
I know. Honestly, the audience themselves are horrified by that statement of the choices.
You guys
made.
are with them? Yeah. Oh, you'd rather eat.
I think it was more so about what you said to eat.
Spencer's
Yeah,
on in there.
yeah.
with
I mean, if you would have said like 12-ounce steak dinner or something.
Would you rather have the ability to teleport anywhere in the world, but always arrive naked? Or teleport with your clothes, but only to places you've been before? Okay, this one has a little bit of...
Well, you're at an unfair advantage because you've traveled a lot. You could hit all kinds of places.
I could get close to nearly anything.
Yeah.
Right. Ryan, where you going with there, man? That's a tough
I'll
one.
just travel to places I've been. I've been to some nice
You
places.
can't arrive naked.
Yeah, you're pretty attached to clothing, are you?
You'd be...
Yeah,
Yeah.
That makes sense.
there's a lot of things could happen. Not good either.
Would you rather have the ability to instantly learn any profession or instantly master any sport?
I'm going for sports.
I'm
Sports.
profession.
Both are quite
Sports.
lucrative if you're a master.
Yeah.
Sports.
What would be the sport that you would play professionally if given a choice?
Yeah, you snap your fingers.
Oh, golf, hands down.
Really?
It's got to be up there.
Yeah, golf, hands down.
NASCAR driver.
I mean, that'd be fun too, but
Aaron, let me ask you something. Is there anybody that you love that you want us to give a shout out to? No, never mind. Well, if you play golf, you can play it really forever too. You're not
That's
you're
the
not
whole
getting
point,
freaking
yeah.
drilled by baseballs in the back. You're not getting lit up in football. It's just you. It's a nice, beautiful day outside.
you get to go
You
to
can
all
play
the
till you're
beautiful
like
places.
70 years old. It'd be great to be, a master of golf. That's a good answer.
NASCAR has all those things.
Man, you could die.
Well,
It's dangerous. It would be fun. I like driving.
I mean, 200 mile an hour would be.
I
pretty fun.
can't say that Jeff went over the speed limit. I was recently in a vehicle with him.
You can say it. I don't care.
We were in Sarah's vehicle.
Yeah.
She has a little SUV. It's a lovely vehicle. And we were out on the open road, and Jeff said, "How was it you were?" You said, "You want me to see what this thing's got?" Is that what you said? I can't remember exactly what you said.
Maybe.
But I mean, I gave you my best from the back. Yeah, and boy, did you. Boy,
We
did
didn't
you.
even have room to get going that fast. It was maybe 110. It wasn't anything too crazy.
My life flashed before my eyes, Ryan. I've never been more scared.
Ryan, have you come across anything? We got to start winding down here. Have you come across anything recently that you feel is worth sharing, like from a book, social media, news story, odd fact, self-improvement? Anything you learned recently that piqued your curiosity that you think the listeners would like?
Man, I not good for ratings, but I don't have a good answer like for that either.
Now,
Like,
Ryan,
that's-
I asked you if you had read these questions.
Yeah, I mean, I wish that I was a bigger reader, I guess, but one book I have read recently, probably over the past year, Extreme Ownership.
Jocko Willink.
Yeah, Leaf
Jocko's on
Babin.
that.
Yeah, that one, I've listened to it and read it, and that one I think really translates a lot to what we do and taking ownership of, whatever happens in the office and really in life too, but definitely in the office. I mean, taking responsibility for whether it's good or bad, even if it's not your responsibility. If something goes wrong because your coworker made a mistake, but you took that phone call, just taking the blame, and just ironing it out that way and not putting blame on everyone else. It's a team. we're all a team. If we make a mistake, it's, all of us.
Yeah, that's a really, really good book. Any particular part of that you recall vividly? Like a passage or any piece? There's one part of there where I'm pretty sure it's that book, describing how their special unit force, whatever, was like storming through a town and they got separated.
Yeah, I remember that part.
Everything's going haywire.
Yep.
Really stuck with me. I didn't know if you had
I love those war stories like that. I think that's why I was so intrigued by that book. And then just how he tied it into business. And if anyone, wants a really interesting book to read, I think that's where you should go to. And
were they talking about the like SEALs and the training out in San Diego and how you could tell like which groups had different teams? Yeah. Well, that's a good suggestion. It's a popular book these days. Everybody ought to check that out.
Yeah, I suggest that for everyone, honestly. And
what if we did at the next annual meeting, we did a little simulation of Bud's training, maybe at the hotel pool, and try to get a couple of we could tie a couple directors up, throw them in the water, see who can swim.
Well, you could do that. You could do something like that at the summer meeting
that's what I was thinking.
Exploring.
Yeah.
So that's where we're going.
I don't think we tie
training.
Anybody up.
No, I mean,
but you have to. What are they doing in there?
will.
You have to like build some way to get the raft
get the
over
raft,
the wall and then get it out and back. And we could do a team building
Absolutely.
exercise.
And then they do a night swim in the ocean.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. We turn off all the lights in the hotel pool and then throw some people in there.
This is nonsense. Any final words you'd like to leave us with today?
Yeah, I mean, anyone that's ever considering village caregiving, you're going to be walking into a company who truly cares about you. The culture here is good luck finding another company like it, honestly. Jeff, I mean, everything you guys are doing don't change. I mean, when we go to these meetings, you see everyone is happy to be there. Monday mornings are not a drag to come to work. People look forward to come to work, and you give us pretty much offices to run the way we want to run them. The freedoms are just kind of it's unlike any other company. Me and Mike and Paula always talk at the office. We're lucky to be where we're at. We're actually spoiled.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love my job too. That's really nice of you to say.
Yeah, I mean, we're
you.
spoiled.
Thank you guys. That's really nice.
Cool. Well, guys, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thanks for coming in.
Cheers.
Absolutely.
Buddy.
Thanks for having me.